We were speaking about invades in the jungle, but it wasn't actually going to be Elevate that decided to pull the trigger. It was Gen.G. I mean, they are behind with the resources, so they kind of need to tap into the enemy's jungle if they want to make them off. But it is going to be Hyde that gets taken down as well, so a 1-1 trade for both teams.
Yep, and now Ray suffering against the hands of Azar here.
Maybe. I mean, we saw it in game one, didn't we? Oh, they get the Crimson Golem from the Orgrin as well, so nice little play there. Oh, the upright left press. Observer. What's going on? Mid lane, please. There we go. There's the winning strategy, landing onto Rock. That was a great play by Mitsuri, really showing his outplay potential in the mid lane. I'm really impressed by this player so far.
Yeah, and worst of all, it's actually taking away the Azure buff as well. So full on, everything gone from the jungle of Gen.G.
Yeah, not a good place to be at. I mean, now that we see the Elevate are 10.1k gold ahead as well, rather than the 8.9 here, but like I said, they took away the Azure Golem, which is pretty detrimental to Luna, and Rock's looking to pay some revenge here. Not going to be able to do as much damage as he would like, especially with Zhongfei and Marco Polo here, but Mitsura getting the shutdown once more onto Wawa. Elevate looking like a different beast after getting that second win.
Yeah, and you know what? The draft that he have down here benefits snowball effects. Mitsura, if he does have the level advantage, he's extremely strong. The only person that, I think doesn't really need to care about the levels is Ivalice. Ivalice, all he has to do is to make sure he lands that Unbridled Outburst at the correct timing, get the lockdown on certain members on the side of Gen.G, job done.
Yeah, I mean, he's just basically some kind of
Tyrant has been defeated.
utility within the side of...
He can do that as well.
He can do that. He can smite. Exactly. That's it. He can CC. He can smite. He can do many things. But what he doesn't want to do is just focus on taking away resources from somebody else.
Oh yeah, I think they have managed to give Azar quite a bit of room to farm so far, and the fact that Mitsura is just farming the rest of Gen.G, I think that's a huge marker, right? And this could be very well a early game ender for the side of Elevate.
Yeah, they just need to make sure they keep this lead going, right? They can't take the foot off the pedal, just kind of like what Gen.G did in game 2. They made the mistake of letting that room breathe for the side of Elevate, and Elevate know that mistake can't happen, and there we go. It's Ray getting taken down once more, so hopefully that T1 for Elevate is going to be taken there. The Gen.G T1, sorry, will open up for the side of Elevate, but Zhongfei still not quite done yet. Ivalice is in the thick of it. There it is. The true Mantra lands and makes Rock a bit useless there onto Luna. Ooh, 4-0 trade for Elevate.
Yeah, and G6 walks out like nothing happened, but he's dying, right? And so Elevate, they're playing and pushing all their heroes to the absolute limits. They get rewarded with the T1 in the mid, and this is going to be a big opening, right? Now, Vision is going to be very tight and dark for the side of Gen.G. Gen.G, they actually managed to steal away the Azure Golem, but they pay with their life. This jump in by Hyde, a very different performance this time from the Clash leader of Elevate.
Yep, they got the Azure Golem, but at what cost? At what cost? And it was a 4-0 trade by the side of Elevate, which I would take that any day of the week.
Yeah, and right now, I think Elevate, they're trying to push. They make sure that, there's no win conditions that are available for the turnaround, right? Gen.G, right now, not a lot of options to explore. All they can do is to defend, and when you're defending, you don't really get a lot of gold and EXP, right? Because now you're at the mercy of Elevate, and the risk of being caught out. Everyone on the side of Elevate is pretty mobile.
They are pretty mobile, absolutely. Yeah, they're able to get in, get out. We have the Path of Passing from G6, obviously the dashes from Hyde on the Dharma. We also have the Time Shift from Kong Ming as well, and dashes from Marco Polo. So like I say, very agile, very mobile heroes on the side of Elevate. And again, once more, they are committed to diving in and trying to get these Azure Golems from the side of Elevate, and they were able to claim it and actually not lose anything at this point. But we do see there is a bit of a push into the Clash lane.
Yeah, Elevate, I think they're very happy about that, right? They will take that trade any day because they're actually working on the T2s and potential T3s later on, right? They don't mind giving it up because there's a potential they can get kills very easily if they overcommit, because they have to go for the defense on the side of Gen.G.
They do have to go for the side of defense, and like you said, there's not much in terms of resources unless you can get some kills when you're playing defensive-wise, and Clue may have just got caught out there. He's able to escape, though, just for now, but not many players can say that they were slowed and then not killed, but it was Clue that's actually able to escape there. But right now, it's definitely looking like Elevate's game 3, right?
Yeah, Ivalist here, he's going to play the important role, right? He's going to set the stage, and Azar is just waiting for the stuns to come in.
Ooh.
So winning strategy going to be laid down pretty early from the side of Mitsura, and until there's an opening, they won't commit.
They won't commit, but I mean, the path of passing is there. They're trying to just kind of like get them away from that T2, but it's not going to be enough because Gen.G know what they're aiming to do and what their eyes are set on, and that was that T2 in the mid lane. But that was a good little defense there from Gen.G. Definitely just keep them in the wings of things. They are down by 6k gold, however, so they definitely need to start farming, but they don't make sure they don't get caught out.
Yep, and looking at the itemization, actually, I think richest man on the board on the side of Elevate is going to be 6.5 on the side of Mitsura as well.
Absolutely. They definitely need to pull the resources into all factors of Elevate, I feel. Because, I mean, if they give it all over to Azar and then Azar gets taken out, it's then kind of like, oh, what do we do now in these team fights? So I think just pooling it, obviously he's the highest, but it is split between him and G6. So I think having that divide split 50-50 is just great for team fight potential.
Yep, and you can tell Elevate, they want to be a little bit more aggressive, right? Because the usual itemization for Azar would have been the Frigid Charge. He actually goes for the Shadow Reaper first. He wants to have a little bit more damage.
Yes, I mean, a little bit of damage goes a long way, right? It definitely helps when going into these team fights, but right now they definitely have Gen.G with their backs against the wall. The winning strategy just comes through, just get blocked by Wawa once more. He's basically just being used as a human shield at this point.
Yeah, there's no catch, right? Nobody on the side of Gen.G has a reliable stun to be able to get things going. And the only person responsible is maybe Ray and Rock, but you don't want them jumping blindly.
No, I mean, with such a short range stun, it's kind of hard to land. Right there it is. The Death on Sunset is coming through just to kind of just clear off the minion wave to stop that high ground turret being taken by Elevate.
Yep, it's not enough. Yes, you have the Celestial Melody, but at this point, they're just fighting for scraps, right? There's nothing of value they can get unless it's a kill onto maybe a G6 or a Azar. And neither of these members will be actually in a position that's going to be easily accessible. And right now, look, Gen.G, they're going to try and contest this Tyrant. They need to get the vision first. Wawa, I'm not sure what he's looking to do here, right? Because Elevate, they just need to drag the game, and suddenly all three lanes are pressing down and your T3s are at risk again. Yeah,
it's kind of like a, do you take the Tyrant, but then do you risk your lanes? Because if they take the Tyrant and then lose a team fight, they then got the farm lane minion wave just rocking up that they can just completely abuse on the side of Elevate here. But it looks like they decide against it. I think that's probably for the best of the side of Gen.G, so they don't get any... It's to stop collateral damage, I feel, for the side of Gen.G.
Yeah, I think that's the smartest decision they could have made in that particular moment. And Gen.G, I think right now, they need to be really careful. If Rock dies here, it could spell the end of the game.
It could, because that's a lot of damage going. He's heavily reliant on the Ganon
no
bow.
mana.
And he has no mana. What's a Luna without no mana? It's pretty much like a minion, but there we go. Another kill going over to Azar. He gets the Frigid Charge as well, locked into his utility, but it is going to be high. And G6 looking to push this high ground turret, but the wave clear is coming through clutch for Gen.G.
Yeah, wave clear wise, yeah, because they have Inua, they have Ray. I think they have decent wave clear, especially coming out from Inua, right? Those are a couple blades coming to full efficiency at this point. But until you kill off the members on the side of Elevate, this is just going to repeat over and over again.
Yeah, no, they're just not giving over anything to the side of Gen.G because they know as soon as one person falls on the side of Elevate, it's going to be hard for them to come back. But again, body blocking is Clue. Like I said, in the draft, they are going to have to body block that winning strategy because they can't let it land onto the squishy heroes because it will decimate. But speaking of decimate, the high ground turret does fall. Rock is looking a little bit too deep in it. He does get hit by the Unbridled Outburst, and it looks like Evelis is looking to push as well. Wawa gets taken down, so 2-0 trade for the side of Elevate.
Okay, so they are pretty low on the side of Elevate. Do they really want to risk dying here if Rock gets the perfect initiation? That's the big question. Rock does go in.
Looking pretty low. Rock does get caught. It's that CC that really stops the Luna there. So I feel like it's having a bit of a bad call for the side of Gen.G. But at what point you have to do something here to try and keep them away? And Elevate may actually finish this game 3 in 12 minutes time.
big win, and this is exactly what we expected out of Elevate. Now, Gen.G, I think they struggled a little bit, but props to Elevate, they made life so difficult. This was a very scary draft. It's a risky draft, let's be clear, because they didn't exactly have too much tankiness. It was just a Zhang Fei. If any of them got caught out in a bunch by Rock, it would have been disastrous. But the way they played their formation, they positioned themselves really good. And the fact that they have the advantage, all of the steals, the punishments for trying to get the buffs, Elevate, definitely on a different level at this point.
Elevate are, in no better words, elevating to where we expected them to be going into this series. And to be honest, to go from such a stomp of game 1 from Gen.G to then such a neck-and-neck game 2, and then game 3 was just kind of a Elevate stomp, right? They just weren't letting Gen.G breathe at all. And that's kind of like the only way you can counter the Luna pick, because as soon as you let a free roam, just kind of like the pay in game 1, as soon as you let that free roam get up some resources, you kind of then spilling the doomsday clock to midnight, but they are able to actually stop that this time around, and Elevate learning very quickly. So there is a lot of potential here for Elevate going into Group A so far.
Yep, and still quite a few options, right? They just took the D-range here, so there's still plenty of very strong marksmen they can play around with. And I think this game, for me, it looks like Mitsura did a really good job, because Mitsura was burning the life bars. He didn't get the kills, not all of it or most of it, but he did always force the D-range back. And that was a huge marker, because there was no punishment come in, there was no stuns coming in.
I mean, as soon as you've kind of procced the winning strategy, you can get as far away as possible, and it's still going to do that same kind of task, which is to push your enemy team back, and that's exactly what he did. And you can kind of see here that he didn't die at all. He was able to get 4 kills as well. So Mitsura has actually been